Yep, deal. I want a 1960-something Cadillac. Chef Curry with a shot. Last night, Steph Curry dropped buckets. Looked something like this.
Man.
He was 13 for 17 from beyond the arc, which set a new NBA single-game record for three-pointers. That being said, he did do it against a winless Pelicans team that is holding Anthony Davis hostage. Now, the question was, are we supposed to be impressed by this? The only reason I'm going to say no is because we just watched him give up his streak. What was it, 157 straight games with a three?
Yeah.
Gave it up against the Lakers, which means now you're starting right back at 1. And so I'm just not impressed. I'm not impressed, but they don't impress me anymore. Maybe I'm ignorant. Maybe I'm an idiot. I'll take all of it. This, for some reason, I don't care.
That is so impressive to be that professional.
Is it?
To answer your own challenge, to make sure that you respond to the moment.
Against a team that, God bless them, cannot get anything right.
But Steph Curry's been on this tear for the last 2 years now, doing things we've never seen, and I had to look up. I couldn't believe he didn't already have this record. So for him to now finally make it shows you that he's found another extra gear. We were questioning that already in this early portion of the season. Right now, I'm absolutely impressed. These guys are all still drawing paychecks, too. They may be the Pelicans, but they're still paid professionals out there guarding him
Exactly.
on defense.
And that's a relationship between you and the rim. It doesn't matter who your opponent is. Can you make 13 three-pointers? I don't care if the little kids are out there. That's a difficult
I think
feat.
something happened for me inside when he lost the streak over the weekend.
I'm the millennial here. I'm supposed to be the jaded one.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? I'm old. Of course I'm going to be the jaded one.
Well, I think it's impressive.
You're supposed to have hope.
It's impressive.
Cynicism up here is really...
It's pretty bad.
He restarted greatness instead of just continued greatness. That's impressive.
Started back at 1. We'll be right back. But first, Coach Bob was asked by reporters if he still keeps in touch with one Tim Duncan, and here he is.
Oh, sure. Yeah, we're like in love. We text all the time.
Do you use emojis? Do you use those emojis when you text?
Only the ones where you blow kisses.
The key thing that I want to emphasize is that we probably are never going to have this totally sorted out. We're going to play it by ear, play it as it comes. We can do that. And to do it really right for the advantage of the team, which we deserve, he's really got to be ready to go at the top of his game.
Okay. So that's Jerry Jones talking again about the current quarterback situation that all of us seem to have figured out by now, but he's still going to play it by ear. Yeah, we're worried, right? If you're a Cowboys fan, you're worried?
You're very worried. This reminds me, you guys remember those dog memes where they're doing human things? I have no idea what I'm doing. That's Jerry Jones right now. Jerry Jones is that dog. And you've had how many weeks so far this season to come up with a plan and figure things out based on what you've seen so far, knowing the timeline? You have more information in that building than any of us could possibly have. And you still don't know what's going on here. Cowboys fans, hit the panic switch. The only way you can screw that season up, because I don't think there's a wrong answer here, unless you go down this road where all of a sudden you're ambivalent about it and you're not really sure what exactly you're going to do. That's how you screw this thing up.
Well, I don't think he's messing this up. I think he's being genius in how he's playing it right now. And let me tell you.
Do you know what that word means?
Yes, I do.
I don't think you do.
I've worked with the man before, and he was a genius at giving me that money. I want to thank you again, once again, Jerry. Let's say this. This is the way you play it, because you're trying to protect what you really want to do, which is put in the young, cheaper talent right now. But you know what you want to do? Incentivize him to go out there and save the PR of doing Tony Romo the wrong way. So how do you do that? You go from this stance. Remember this early in the season? This is Romo's team. And then now it's turned into we'll play it by ear. You know what the next statement will be? Well, Tony came to us and said it's best for the team. And then guess what? You get Dak Prescott at $500,000 going forward, and Tony Romo brings that salary down, and you got the best of both worlds. Genius, Jerry. Genius.
Now, settle down. Next up, and I've got to say these next words slowly, Slip City or Chip City.
I don't like what you
Too much for television. Last night, the Clippers embarrassed the Pistons 114-82, and now they find themselves with a 6-1 record, second place in the Western Conference. And everybody, or maybe just Marcellus, is all fired up about the Clippers, but tell me how they're going to mess it up this time.
Whatever. First of all, we're not in second place. We're tied for first. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
No, actually, we are in second place. We have the same record, so don't do that. You know what's interesting about this team this year? And I told you, the last 3 years I've been saying Clip City, Chip City. Yep. And then I went up to Doc Rivers and the other coaches. I said, this is our year, right? And they looked at me and they said,
security,
calm down a little bit. We didn't have the depth necessary. We didn't have the three positions solved. But now We have no issues. Our team, top to bottom, 10 deep, is ready to go against anybody out there. And Golden State, if they don't figure this out, and especially defensively in the paint, we will attack them in the middle and beat them up like we did the Spurs by 20 when we played y'all. Remember that? Remember that?
Let me point out a chart here that will help me make my argument without having to say much at all. I'd like to point out some of the best starts in your team's history, and then if you look over to the right column, you'll see how those teams fared, how your team fared.
That Mo Space wasn't on the team then.
By the way, the N/A means they didn't go to the playoffs at all.
Oh, here you go.
Just want to make sure you understand.
Okay, you want to know how we break this curse? Just like the Chicago Cubs did. You want to know how we break this curse? Just like the Cleveland Cavaliers did. This is the year of the curse breakers in sports.
Years, then.
This is the year of the curse breaker, and the Clippers are next. Yes. Yes.
In the best interest of the economy words that gets us to the snake video quicker.
Yep.
I will say this. I said before the season, I think this is about time for the Clippers to take that step and be involved in this conversation. I'm in on the Clippers if they can avoid. We know injuries have been a problem for them for key players in the last few years. Some of that internal strife in that building keep Blake from punching anybody that works on the staff. As long as you can avoid any of that stuff in there that would derail that, they've got the talent in place. They've got a good enough team to make a run here.
You found out the hard way.
I'll bet you whatever you want right now.
Oh, let's go.
Whatever.
Okay, deal.
Next is Mike Golick Jr. And we have to start with Richard move. Get it? Last night, Richard Sherman jumped offside and just kept running right through the leg of Bills kicker Dan Carpenter. Now, no penalty was called for unnecessary roughness, which surprised almost everyone except Richard Sherman. Take a listen.
I went to block the kick. I'm not going to let him make a kick. So when it called offsides, I'm not going to let him have a free play. So that's not how I played. They didn't blow the whistle, so I played until the whistle was blown.
Now, they seem to think that it was intentional, that it was a dirty play. Was it?
I went straight for the ball. I didn't go for the kicker. I slid for the ball. He should have not kicked it.
Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
He was offsides, then dove at our kicker's leg while he's in motion. Yeah, it's a dirty play.
Don't worry, Dean Blandino has weighed in, confirming it was unnecessary roughness. But the Bills are acting like it's the dirtiest play of all time, Marcellus. Is it?
It's up there. I mean, I really can't imagine a play that's dirtier because of a guy's conscious movements and conscious actions, and he knows he's wrong through the entire process. Let me take you through this. Playing defensive end before, I've jumped off sides numerous times. And every single time I did it, I knew I was off sides. But I'm not going to stop until you tell me to stop because I'm waiting on the officials to make the call. So already, he's cognizant that he's off sides. Rule number one that you violated. Rule number two that you violated is you never block a kick this way. You're taught to block a kick by cleaning the table. They teach us. You have to run 1, 2, 3 timing, clean the table. And if you see
Let me see this.
This is the way you do it. Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. That's how you block the kick. You jump in front of the guy, you clean the table, and you make sure you avoid the kicker. I've never seen a guy say, I went for the ball, but I turned my back to the kicker. Who knows if he kicked it or not, because my back was turned to him, and I ran into him. That is such a dirty play. He needs to be shamed.
And listen, I've been a part of enough cut blocks on the other side to know exactly what it looks like right there. And once you dip that shoulder and go into the body right there, that's textbook. He drove right through the hip plate, everything you want to see out of a cut in a legal situation. And then he's got the audacity on the back end to go and say, well, he shouldn't have kicked it right there. Right. As if he hit him in the after swing once he's already gone through the motion. You hit him right during that kick, knowing damn well what you were doing.
When is the offsides a license to kill? Like, I've jumped off sides, the quarterback standing there. I'm like, you know what? Let me lay off him because this is illegal.
Oh, you have? You didn't wait for a whistle. Because he said he waited for a whistle.
And you don't run up to him and DDT him.
Especially when the guy's in a compromised position like that. Kickers are people, too, and at that point, he's very open to a serious injury right there, the way he's planting, the way he's getting ready to go.
Did you just say kickers are people, too?
They do, as much as that hurts me.
Election day, everybody's open-minded.
2016.
I guess we are. It's like today's the beginning or the end of something. That was a play. It was just one part of a comedy of errors for the officials last night. This we can all agree on. We're going to relive the blunders now. After Richard Sherman took out Dan Carpenter, Carpenter had to leave the game by rule because unnecessary roughness wasn't called by the refs. That now forces Rex Ryan to run another play so he can get Carpenter back out on the field. When Carpenter does get back on the field, he makes the field goal. Hooray! However, it did not count. The Bills were wrongly called for delay of game because the refs were still spotting the ball with 4 seconds on the play clock. The ball was moved 5 yards back. This time around, he misses the kick, and of course, Rex Ryan loses his mind. Now, Golick, I ask you, according to Ed Werder, those officials may face discipline for all the errors that we just saw. At this point, should the league suspend this crew?
Absolutely. I wouldn't see why you wouldn't go out and punish at this point when that's the only recourse you have to show them that they did something wrong. Let's go back to Marcellus' example. If a defensive lineman were to jump off sides, go unabated to the quarterback, and still lay a hit on him, they'd be fined or had some sort of penalty laid down on them, and that always falls under the umbrella of player safety. In this instance, those refs didn't protect that kicker from that situation right there, and they should be held accountable for it.
Yeah, I mean, they doubled down on being dumb because the unnecessary roughness was, okay, you see a guy jump off sides and you're like, whoa. And then you let him rough the kicker, whoa. And then you come back and double down on it by spotting a ball, giving a perception that you still have 25 seconds left on the clock. With 3 seconds to go, that's insane right there because now you're penalizing this team, which they missed the kick, I get it, but the delay of game obviously affected them missing the kick because he made the one before that. So all of that said, the only penalty that will matter to them is a suspension, and they're warranted.
All right, fair enough. By the way, at least we had an interesting Monday night game.
It was very good. I want to see the ratings for that one.
Me too.
Yeah,
in addition to all the bad officiating, we still have a little Richard Sherman, Rex Ryan fun because they get into a little exchange. Sherman at this point stares down Rex Ryan. In response, Ryan jaws back at Sherman. After the game, coach was asked about their interaction. Here's what he had to say.
Well, no, he's mean mugging like he's doing and, you know, whatever. And then he's over on the sideline basically taunting us. And so I had some words. I mean, I think I said that, you know, you're too good a player to act like an
Well, according to that logic, any issue with the fact that these two guys got into it?
No, not at all. I actually give 1 point to Rex and 1 point to Sherman in this battle right here. Look, when you talk about the mental warfare, psychological warfare that goes on between the four quarters, things like this, I think, are necessary. I think things like this, when a player looks up to a coach, usually we show reverence. You see a coach on the other side, you're like, oh, hey, coach. Or sometimes you even bow to him. It's like, what the hell? He's another human being. I like the fact that he's not showing reverence because I don't like your team, so I don't like you, coach. But then I like coach saying, oh, you don't like my boys? Oh, you want to treat Dan Carpenter like that? Guess what I got for you? What's up, big dog? And they stare it out. I like that kind of warfare going on between player and coach. It's rare you see
Such dudes.
Oh, I'm all about it. And listen, Richard Sherman getting a little Gary Bertier out there, having his moment out there on the field. The only problem I have with this altercation is Rex after the sack.
Yeah.
You know that's not what you said to that man out there on that field. Old Rex wouldn't have held back in that press conference.
You don't think he said that?
There's no that. You think that team
he said
response?
$$. I mean, he kind of gave you something.
I know, but his logic is a little bit messed up as well because he's saying he's too good a player to act like that. In reality, that's how Rex acts all the time. So is he saying he's not too good a coach to act like that?
Well, he's talking about the hit on his kicker. He's like,
I just like to read into this.
Right. Neither of these guys are above petty.
I think Rex told the truth. He's like, dude, why would you hit the kicker? You're too good a player to act like blank. I think that's fine. Like, you run into my kicker and play it off. You're too good for that, brother. You can do better than that.
I just think it was more colorful than that, knowing the Rex Ryan that we know and love.
The original where he comes out on the field, there are a lot of F-bombs flying.
Yeah.
A lot.
Okay, I could
in all fairness. Let's do some jeers. We'll do 3 of them for your pleasure today. And our first cheer will be for a gentleman by the name of Tim Frazier.
Uh-oh. Not going to go well for Tim.
Will not.
Timmy Frazier. No. Timmy Frazier. Well, that's not how you win games. Are they still winless? Yes, they are.
I feel so...
That's how you go.
You guys, we got to rescue Anthony Davis.
Yeah, we need a,
we got to get, like, somebody serious there.
Get him out of there.
Marco Beadle. Oh, brother.
Man.
I don't care. He's still Italian, and I still love him.
Yeah. Really? You still root for him?
Why not?
Bonus points for the
Motherland.
That's like that failed onside kick. I'll give you bonus points for the audacity.
I'm just saying. Like, we got a cyclist in the show? Let me see this. Cyclocross action, I believe it's called.
Damn.
What the?
Whoever designed that? What is this?
Wait, what do you just carry your bike? What is happening?
Yeah, who are these dudes that just decide they can
just... Right. The bike is an accessory. Like, you don't really need it.
Well, that guy didn't get the memo because everybody else is carrying the
If he was clipped in, he's done.
Idiot. All right, last night Steph Curry hit an NBA record 13 three-pointers, but he did against, of course, the winless Pelicans. So how impressed are we really?
We'll discuss it next. Pop shot look good. This is Sports Nation.
Sports Nation is presented by Toyota. Let's go places.
Oh,
that's beautiful.
We have to do
I have to talk about something else. Loser brothers. Oh, wait. This bro lost a bet and had to do that?
Bros continue to advance chugging culture and the technology around it in a way I never thought possible.
You guys are idiots.
Some part of that is cool.
Really.
Some part of that is really cool.
You never see women doing stupid stuff like this. You never.
Look at did she make the 30-footer? I mean, that's what it is. If she made it, she doesn't have to do it. He didn't make it. So now that's the challenge.
To think that you people have been in control this whole time.
That's how we apply
now,
our
look at this. You get paid more than we do. I mean, this is ridiculous.
Really? Yeah.
Okay, well, maybe not everywhere.
It's a gender issue, huh?
For a lot of
not
places.
a stupidity
70
issue.
cents on the dollar to chug.
Winning. Take a listen. Oh, no.
Fans are excited. One more miss. And you know what that means. Free chicken sandwiches for everybody tomorrow. Actually, for the next week. Everybody's eating. Everybody's happy in Verizon Center.
Marcellus, look what they wrote in the teleprompter. They called you Portly and Bigly.
Portly and Bigly.
Bigly.
And they want to know if you think that a chicken sandwich eases all the pain.
Absolutely it does. Let me tell you, I remember going to a college football game and they had lost. It was New Mexico, I remember. And it was at Qualcomm and they got beat down. But they were excited because they had In-N-Out catered after the game.
Come on.
They were all pumped up. I was like, it can
best.
ease the pain, brother.
Listen, we're all going to forget the outcome of that last World Series. What we're not going to forget are the free tacos coming our way.
Amen, brother.
There it is.
I couldn't say it better myself.
There it is.
Twitter, Randy Moss, who made an impressive one-handed salmon catch last night up in Seattle, of course. What's more impressive, that or that?
I think the
Catching
fish.
or kicking?
I think catching a fish.
Okay.
Yeah, and then letting him high-five you with fish sauce coming at you. Did you watch the high five?
Fish guts for
yeah,
fish
but watch the
line.
high five. Splash, splash. Oh,
But he did one-handed. That's
See,
pretty
we don't
good.
have the video. None of this is impressive as Shefty going through the dodgeball gauntlet there back in Bristol with that crew.
None of this matters.
Oh, yeah.
Watch the baby iguana video, and if you haven't voted, go do it now. You've got time.
And watch it from the beginning.
Oh, God.